The Gambia Revenue Authority GRA, in partnership with the West Africa Tax Administration Forum WATAF and the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Welfare, on Monday begins a 3-day roundtable workshop on the role of parliamentarians in domestic revenue mobilization in the post-COVID-19 era. The 3-day workshop aims to enlighten the Gambian parliamentarians on their role in revenue mobilization in post-COVID-19 era in the Gambia. Speaking at the opening ceremony, Yankuba Dabo, the Commissioner General of GRA, highlights the importance of his office relationship with the Parliament in revenue collection.
The relationship between the GRA and the National Assembly is therefore one established by law. Even though organizing this forum for National Assembly members is not dictated by law, we, however, deem it necessary that as a legislators of our revenue laws, it is important that we establish a cordial relationship between our two institutions. It is also important that we both understand the mandate, the structure, and the powers of one another. This will help reduce the unnecessary misunderstandings that arises in the discharging of our respective functions. It is the realization of this objective that informed our decision to organize this forum.
Honorable Sidi Keita, Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, says this workshop with the parliamentarians is a timely intervention.
The National Assembly, being the legislative arm of the government, is key in realizing our domestic revenue mobilization drive and in translating our fiscal policies and objectives into legislation. In fact, this roundtable discussion is coming at the right time, as I will be tabling the 2023 appropriation bill shortly before the National Assembly. I hope this forum will pave the way for a smooth deliberation of the government fiscal objectives for 2023 constructively. In exercising its function in our constitutional setup, the National Assembly plays 3 critical roles with regards to public finance, and these are: 1, revenue mobilization by imposing taxes and authorizing public expenditure, allocating resources to critical sectors of the economy, performing supervisory function over the implementation of the approved budget. The National Assembly, therefore, has a prominent role in the budgetary process.
Mr. Babatunde Oladapo, the Executive Secretary of WATAF, says the Parliament is a very important pillar in tax administration.
Because on this journey of domestic revenue mobilization and then the public finance management, there's a need for us to work together. There's a British club, they call it "You Don't Work Alone." In this instance, tax administration will not work alone. We are willing to work with other partners. And as mentioned by the MC, the work of tax administration is on 3 pillars. You have the tax administration, the tax policy, and the tax law. And the Parliament represents this very important and crucial part of the economy that we need to work together. And if we all cast our mind and look behind at what happened during the last 3 years, COVID-19 highlighted the importance of coming together to make sure that our economy received the needed boost through the available domestic revenue, always available, but most time because of gaps in the system, we have not been able to actually utilize it.
Ms. Emile Muya, Chief Capacity Development Unit, United Nations Department of Economic and Social Welfare, says many countries in Africa and the world at large should emulate the GRA in organizing such events.
It's actually a very timely one, and it's one that I hope that many other countries in the region will emulate. I know it's happening already at some other parts of Africa, but it is really one that we must carry on along. This whole of government approach, and especially focusing on parliamentarians and trying to bring that dialogue on domestic resource mobilization, is key to ensuring that we can generate the revenues that we need for recovery from the pandemic.
Meanwhile, Honorable Sidinjai, Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, had this to say.
For members of the National Assembly to be here, to be sensitized on their role as parliamentarians in working in tandem with the Gambia Revenue Authority to get us policies and programs that are prudent in ensuring that not only getting resources for us, but maximize it. There, you talk about people who avoid tax. You talk about under taxations. You talk about fraud in tax collections, revenue collections. Therefore, the government, they are committed towards that. But members of parliament in our oversight functions, in ensuring that we worked for the betterment of the people of the Gambia, we must scrutinize. We must be part of partners who will help government and the executive arm of government to come up with policies and laws that will bridge the gap.
The core mandate of GRA is to ensure maximum compliance with all revenue tax laws, to ensure a sustainable revenue stream for the government, trade facilitations, and a controlled and safe flow of goods across the country's borders. Reporting for Kerr, Fatou, I am Landin Cisse.